Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified Doctor of Naturopathy, Dr. Stephen Cabral, shares with you exactly how you can reverse aging, take back your health, and live a life full of energy and passion, with new 20-minute episodes every single day to keep you healthy and engaged. Now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you here today, as always. We're back with another Cabral Concept each and every day. Today's going to be the 7 big benefits of using heat to extend life. We're going to be talking about heat in terms of overall sauna. And the reason why we're mentioning sauna specifically in terms of inducing heat is that you can choose from many different types of sauna, whether it be sauna blanket, infrared sauna, dry sauna, dry, wet sauna, like where you can add water to it, and to a degree, steam as well. You just need to be able to choose a modality for about 20 minutes or more. Now, in the beginning, there's nothing wrong, and we used to do this in my Boston private practice as well, where you'd go in only for 5 minutes, and you would simply just acclimate yourself to the heat, because a lot of people with autoimmune issues or weakened immune system, or maybe even like a lot of stealth pathogens in the body, such as mold or Lyme or viruses, Epstein-Barr virus, CMV, etc., they can only do a few minutes at a time, and that's totally fine. Their bodies don't actually sweat well, and they just need to work their way up. But, in the future, that should only take a month or so to be able to work your way up. What I want you to think about is 20 minutes or more, right? So 20 minutes or more, but it doesn't have to be more than 20, 4+ times a week. And if you can do that, and I'm going to share the study with you as well in the previous podcast, it has actually been shown to decrease all-cause mortality by about 42-43%. Now, again, I've shared this before, and a lot of people, have quoted it, but if there was ever a pharmaceutical drug or supplement that could decrease all-cause mortality, all reasons for dying, by over 40%, it would be a $1 trillion drug, right? No doubt about that. And this study was done by over almost 20,000 plus people. The other thing is this: it can decrease the number one cause of disease or number one cause of death from cardiovascular disease by about 63% as well. Now, that is absolutely remarkable. Think about removing the top 1, maybe even 2 causes for death, which are cardiovascular disease and blood pressure and stroke. Pretty remarkable. Today, I wanted to share with you why. How is this happening? How can just 20 minutes that you can just literally sit there? You don't need to get on a bike. You don't need to lift weights. You can sit in a sauna, right, and get all of these benefits. How is that humanly possible? I want to go through 7 of the ways and 7 of those benefits here today. And I want to go just a little bit in depth on each one. So hopefully this show will serve as a way of practitioners be able to improve their ability to have their clients and patients engage more in sauna, because you can go to your local Y, you can go to your local gym much of the time, or you can invest in your own, like whatever works for you. And they're all different levels. I mean, there are saunas that I recommend that are just around $1,000. And then there are obviously super high-end saunas as well that might cost $5,000, $8,000, $10,000. And they all do different things and to different degrees. But keep in mind, the best sauna is the one that you actually use, right? That's the best sauna for sure. So let's go into it right now. The number 1 is this. So I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to link up a previous show on this as well. So again, I like to leave lots of continuing education links on my podcast. Today, there'll be one at stephencabral.com/2743. stephencabral.com/2743. That's where all today's show notes, big takeaways are. The reason why I like to leave more is because I like to keep my shows around 15 minutes. And the reason is then you can tune in daily and be able to learn a little something every day that broadens and also deepens your scope of knowledge around you and your health. I'm all about helping people take back control of their health, whether it be running their own at-home labs, completing their own protocols, doing what we have inside of High Performance Health, which are the top 10 mortality tests, and so much more. So again, I want to be a source for you that you can take your health to the highest level you want, but also step into this at whatever level you feel comfortable at. Okay, first things first is talking about heat shock proteins. Heat shock proteins, basically, they help to break down damaged proteins inside of your body, poorly replicated DNA, maybe even cancer cells. And what it does is it stimulates the regrowth of new cells. So this is super important because when blood has been taken from subjects that have done sauna, they can see at the end of their sauna that heat shock proteins, HSPs, have been increased 16 times, 16x from when they started. So this means the body's going to be able to scavenger faster, improve DNA and protein folding, and lead to a healthier, better body as you age. Okay, the second one that goes right along with autophagy, they need to be basically directly connected, is that when you take a sauna and you increase these heat shock proteins, you increase scavenger, let's just call them molecules for right now, and then I'll get to inflammation in just a moment. Sorry, I'll get to the immune system in just a moment. You go in and you actually begin to break down all of the weakened, some of them are senescent cells. Those are the zombie cells we've talked about on previous podcasts. Again, we'll link up shows on that. And it helps then to get rid of the weak mitochondria, get rid of the weak cells, and then enable what's called mitochondrial biogenesis. Mitochondrial biogenesis is the improvement of stronger, healthier mitochondria that then produce better, more usable ATP, which is energy for your body. Right? And since there are thousands of mitochondria in your cells and like 5,000 per cell in your heart, it helps improve cardiovascular capacity as well. All right, kind of moving towards the immune system. So how autophagy works is that typically you'll be in a fasted state, and it can be many hours between meals, or it can be specifically overnight during 12-hour intermittent fast or more, and then really ramped up during a 24-hour or more fast. And so when you look at this, the body says, okay, we don't have any new fuel coming in, but we need fuel for the body. So what it will do is it will look at the weak cells of the body, or bacteria or viruses or anything that's there. It will destroy them through macrophages, or what's called phagocytosis. It will engulf them, break them down, recycle their parts, move them out of the body, and allow then for less inflammation, which is our next point. So first, we're getting the recycling of old, weak cells that could be used for parts for the new ones, if you want to look at it like that. But overall, if you can remove these potential cancer cells or senescent cells, which are basically cells that have not gotten the signal through what's called apoptosis to die, to go away after a certain lifespan, say like 120 days for a red blood cell, and they just kind of float around, they stay there, they cause inflammation in the body. Well, during autophagy, they can help to be taken out, right, for cleanup. Now, the nice thing is this: if you have less of those, let's say senescent cells or viral particles or cancer, etc., you'll have less inflammation in the body. That's why we like to use proteolytic enzymes in the morning upon waking with your, greens drink or something like that. All of these things can help to squelch and clean up inflammation by removing the root causes. Remember, inflammation always has a root cause. It always does, right? So it might be the gut, it might be heavy metals, it could be viruses, it could be stealth pathogens like mold and etc. Lots of different things. Okay, so here's what we want to think about. Inflammation has a root cause. One of those things can be helped greatly is by heat and sauna, which then induces heat shock proteins and induces autophagy. It ramps up the immune system, like natural killer cells, right? T helper cells. And they can help then break down everything from, again, as I said, cancer cells to senescent cells and more. Now, you get out of a sauna and you're feeling less joint pain, one, because the cleanup has started, but also two, because of the improved circulation. So increasing heat in the body allows better blood flow to your joints and your extremities, like your fingers, your hands, or your feet or face. So people with poor circulation often feel tremendous when they get out of a sauna because they've forced circulation down to the smaller capillaries around the face, the feet, and the hands. So really, really important, especially if you have low thyroid or maybe Raynaud's disease as well. But again, not giving you any medical advice, medical treatments, medical protocols, medical diagnosis of any kind. All right. Couple others that I want to go over. Another one is detoxification. So how does, heat improve overall longevity? Not only are you working internally, right, with all those cell cleanup that I just talked about, we'll just refer to it as cell cleanup, you are opening up essentially the windows of your house. Those are the pores in your skin. So now you open up the pores with the heat, with the sweat, and what does it take with it? Mold, heavy metals, potentially viral-based particles, plastics, and more. Your skin can detoxify a lot of the 100,000 man-made chemicals that you're exposed to. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. So now if you are sweating near daily, 4+ days a week, what is now getting a rest? Your liver, your kidneys, potentially your lungs to a greater degree, because those are your other detox organs, mainly your liver. So now you're letting your liver have to do less work, which is absolutely fantastic. That's why if you ever have your mercury amalgams taken out in your mouth, AKA silver fillings, or you're going through a mold protocol or heavy metal protocol, really great to be able to incorporate, besides the protocols that we use in our practice, also use the sauna. A couple more that I want to give you of how this improves overall anti-aging. One is insulin sensitivity, making the body more receptive to getting glucose out of the bloodstream and into the cells. That improves your brain health. That improves your overall inflammation in the body as well. And increased sauna begins to help with that. Part of that is our second to last bullet and main benefit, which is improving physical fitness. Yes, sitting in a sauna improves physical fitness. So if you have a family member, you have a relative, you have a grandparent, you have a parent, or yourself, and you're not someone who's physically mobile, get them in a sauna. Again, with doctor's permission. Here's why. When you're in a sauna, you get the equivalent to about zone 2 cardio. Zone 2 cardio is what would be the equivalent to brisk walking or walking up a hill, like on an incline, a gradual hill. What does that mean? You get the benefits of your heart and lungs, cardiovascular conditioning, by literally sitting in heat. And that's why if you're not feeling well, you have a specific disease, you might only be able to do a few minutes at a time. But it improves your overall cardiovascular fitness, which you can look at it as almost like getting steps. Now, you should still get your steps as well, but you can see how that would reduce all-cause mortality. I mean, it's absolutely impressive for increasing blood plasma volume, increasing the blood flow and circulation throughout your body, and improving overall thermoregulation, your body's temperature control. Remarkable. One more to go, and that is human growth hormone. Now, as we get older, we get lower levels of HGH. We have to be careful. We don't want super high levels, which could lead to cancer and other diseases that we don't want. But too low levels, we lose our muscle, our bone, hormone health, skin, hair, nails, immunity, and much more. So by being exposed to these heat shock proteins and heat inside of sauna, we can actually naturally boost our human growth hormone as we age. These are just some of the benefits of sauna. I'm just such a huge advocate of it for anyone almost at any age, not for children, not for the very elderly if the body's weak, but working up to it with certain exposure. 20 minutes, 4 times a week or more. Try it out. Let me know how it went for you. And as always, do feel free to share this show with anyone you believe it can serve. And all the show notes will be at StephenCabral.com/2743 for more details. Take care. Did you know that the body really only becomes sick or imbalanced in only 2 ways? Over time, you become deficient in vital nutrients, and you also accumulate toxins internally and from the environment. As those nutrients diminish and you increase your total toxic load, your body then begins to show the first signs of dis-ease. It's actually quite predictable, and the good news is that if we know how you began to fill up that proverbial rain barrel, we also know how to empty it to begin the healing process. I was fortunate enough to learn this ancient healing process from my mentor after suffering from debilitating diseases for close to a decade. It was only when I began to implement these techniques did I finally overcome my illnesses and go on to live a life of energy and vitality that I now enjoy. I'd like to share with you now what I discovered after traveling all over the world and how to combine the best of ancient healing wisdom with state-of-the-art science. Allow me to teach you exactly how I've been able to help over 250,000 people to empty their rain barrel and begin to transform their body and lives into what they've always hoped they could be. To get your copy of the international bestseller, The Rain Barrel Effect, simply go to StephenCabral.com/rainbarrel.